Listen to stories and appreciate idioms. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Encountering Chinese, Encountering Idioms. Today, the idiom we are going to encounter is
感恩图报
Let's break it down and read it slowly.
感恩图报感恩图报感恩图报感
refers to gratitude or appreciation.
恩
Means kindness or favor.
图
Means to strive or attempt.
报
Means to repay or reciprocate.
感恩图报
Literally means to appreciate someone's kindness and strive to repay it. Now it metaphorically implies being grateful for others' favors and actively seeking ways to repay them. The idiom
感恩图报
originated from a letter titled Letter to Master Ouyang written by Xinggong during the Song dynasty. The original text states,
岂敢与报以若何而图之
The meaning of this phrase is how should I go about implementing my gratitude and repayment? The historical anecdote behind this phrase is as follows. Once upon a time during the spring and autumn period, there was a famous general named Wu Zishu in the state of Wu. He was not only brave but also had exceptional military skills. One year, the king of Wu sent Wu Zishu with his army to attack the state of Xing. When the ruler of Xing, Duke Ding of Xing, heard about this, he became extremely worried. He gathered his ministers and said, As you all know, Wu Zishu is an outstanding commander. I don't want to engage in war with him. If anyone can prevent Wu Zishu from attacking our state and make him return directly to Wu, I will reward them generously. The ministers in the court looked at each other, but no one could come up with an effective solution. The king of Xing grew anxious and said, All right. I will issue a proclamation, inviting the people of Xing to find a solution. Whoever can help us resolve this crisis will be richly rewarded. So, the king of Xing issued the proclamation. The first day passed with no response. The second day came and went without anyone stepping forward. It wasn't until the morning of the fourth day that a young fisherman came forward, holding the proclamation, and sought an audience with Duke Ding. The fisherman said to Duke Ding, Your Majesty, I have a way to prevent Wu Zishu from invading our state. Duke Ding was delighted upon hearing the fisherman's words. He eagerly asked the fisherman, Is this true? How many soldiers and carriages do I need to prepare for you? The fisherman smiled and shook his head, saying, Your Majesty, I don't need any soldiers or carriages. I don't even need to bring food. I only need to use the oar I use for rowing to make Wu Zishu and his tens of thousands of soldiers voluntarily return to Wu. Duke Ding found the fisherman's words strange but had no choice but to trust him. He gave the order to open the city gates and allowed the fisherman to proceed to the Wu army camp. So, the fisherman took his oar and walked toward the Wu army camp. When he arrived at the camp where Wu Zishu was stationed, he didn't rush in. Instead, he stood there, singing a song and tapping his oar. He sang, Man from the reeds, crossing the river, whose kindness On the precious sword, 7 stars inscribed, returning it to you, carrying it on your person. Today, you are triumphant, but do you remember the fisherman? Wu Zishu heard the song and walked out of his tent. He saw a fisherman standing there with an oar and approached him, asking, "Young man, who are you?" The fisherman stepped forward and replied, "Don't you see the oar in my hand? My father used this oar to fish and support our family. And it was with this oar that he saved your life." Wu Zishu, upon hearing this, became overjoyed. He eagerly responded, "I remember now. Several years ago, when I was fleeing and accidentally fell into the water, I couldn't swim and thought I would drown. But it was an old fisherman who used his oar to pull me onto his fishing boat. That's how I survived. Since then, I have been wanting to find that old man and repay his kindness, but I couldn't find him. So, you are his son, it's truly wonderful. But I don't understand, why are you here?" The young fisherman said, "Isn't it because your state of Wu wants to attack our state of Xing? Although we are just ordinary fishermen, we don't want our country to suffer the pain of war either. Our king, Duke Ding, issued a proclamation, asking the people of the nation to find a solution to avoid this war. If someone can genuinely help the country resolve the problem, they will receive generous rewards. I know my father once saved your life, so I gathered the courage to come to the army camp and find you. I hope you can repay my father's kindness by taking the soldiers back to your state of Wu. By doing so, I not only save my friends from the suffering of war but also receive many rewards." Upon hearing the fisherman's words, Wu Zishu felt grateful and said, "You're absolutely right. I owe my survival to your father. If it weren't for him saving my life, I wouldn't have become a great general. How could I forget the kindness of your family? Since you say that withdrawing the troops can save you and your country from the pain of war, I will do as you say." Immediately, Wu Zishu gave the order to bring all the soldiers back to Wu. The young fisherman saw Wu Zishu fulfill his promise and repay his father's kindness, and he was overjoyed. So the fisherman returned to Xing with the good news and recounted everything to Duke Ding. Duke Ding was overjoyed and immediately bestowed an official title upon the fisherman, along with 100 li of land as a reward. Furthermore, Duke Ding issued a proclamation to make everyone aware of the fisherman's assistance to the country. In no time, all the people of Xing knew about this event. They believed that the fisherman not only saved Xing from a crisis but also protected the lives of countless soldiers and people. Therefore, they warmly referred to the fisherman as the Minister of Fishing. In this story, Wu Zishu was grateful to the fisherman for saving his life. To repay him, he withdrew all the soldiers back to Wu. This is the origin of the idiom,
感恩图报.
There is another folk story. It is said that during the Eastern Han Dynasty, there was a man named O Bao in Yongfeng town. O Bao's family was not wealthy, and when he was young, his father passed away from an illness. To commemorate his father, he built a thatched cottage in front of his father's grave and lived there, guarding his father's tomb. One day, a hunter was hunting in the forest when he spotted a tiger. Surprisingly, the tiger didn't attack the hunter but instead fled in panic. The hunter, seeing the tiger's unusual behavior, chased after it. The tiger ran hurriedly and ended up outside Oh Bao's thatched hut. Oh Bao was terrified when he saw the tiger and wanted to escape. However, to his surprise, the tiger didn't pounce on him but instead lay down and started wailing. Oh Bao was puzzled but gathered his courage and cautiously approached the tiger. As he got closer, he realized that the tiger was actually a mother tiger, and her belly was swollen. She was pregnant. Oh Bao felt compassion for the tiger, understanding that she must have been chased and lost her way. So, he covered the tiger with dry hay. Before long, the hunter arrived, chasing after the tiger. The hunter saw Oh Bao and asked, "Have you seen a tiger?" Oh Bao nodded and pointed in a random wrong direction, saying, "I saw it run that way." Believing Oh Bao's words, the hunter hurriedly went off in the direction he was directed. Once the hunter left, Oh Bao removed the dry hay from the tiger, preparing to let her leave. The mother tiger, feeling safe, lowered her head as if expressing gratitude. Witnessing this gesture, Oh Bao was astonished and filled with joy. And so, the mother tiger left Oh Bao's presence. But a few days later, the mother tiger returned, carrying a deer in her mouth. She gently placed the deer in front of Oh Bao, then bowed her head before silently leaving. Oh Bao was amazed by the tiger's actions and deeply moved. He took the deer back to his hut, cooked it, and offered the cooked venison as a sacrifice in front of his father's grave. He thanked his father for his past kindness and vowed to become a kind-hearted person. Not long after, news of this incident spread throughout the town where Oh Bao lived. The townspeople greatly admired the mother tiger's behavior, and to express their admiration, they renamed the town Bao'en Town, which means town of repaying kindness. This is the origin of the name Anjiang Town that exists today. In this story, the mother tiger was grateful to Oh Bao for saving her life and gave him a deer. Oh Bao, in turn, expressed gratitude to his father for his teachings by offering the deer as a sacrifice. And so, this is the idiom,
感恩图报.
Two stories have been told. Next, let's review the idiom we encountered today.
感恩图报. 感恩图报.
Finally, let's use
感恩图报.
to make a sentence.
别人帮助了自己，应该感恩图报。别人帮助了自己，应该感恩图报。
That's all for today's Encountering Idioms. If you like it, please like and subscribe. See you next time.